welcome to the show. I'm Sherry Schreiner. A couple of things I want to talk about today. All right. Yeah, I was just looking at the weather forecast earlier. It's 59 degrees with light rain. Yeah, this is May 26th. And next week we get weather in the 70s. Ooh. It feels like fall. I know they're freaking out in Texas. They got 70-degree weather in Texas, and about now it should be about 200 degrees and scorching down there. So yeah, the weather has been a lot cooler, and this is their game plan. Because the aliens do like it cooler here and dim. They don't like it hot and bright and sunny, and so probably is them. The orgone fries them, so they like to keep the air cooler to try to suppress all the orgone we have out. So yeah, we are effective, folks. I was looking at pictures of Trump in the Middle East. He looks like a double that should be on Saturday Night Live. I mean, that clone they use of him is so goofy. Seriously, folks. If you don't believe they're cloning our presidents, you're not paying attention. I don't know where the real one is, but the one hopping around with Angela Merkel and the rest of the clowns, they're all just it reminds me of the commercial where the gummy bear commercial where the kids take over the adult bodies. That's what they look like, a bunch of kids. So there, I was wondering, why the heck is the G7 in Sicily? Now, Sicily is on the East Coast, and Sicily is an island off of Italy. And Sicily itself, they're on the east coast of the island, in between Sicily and Italy. Kind of a strange place to have a G7, don't you think? Until you just look at it and you're like, it's right on the water. Hello? Because same reason they like using the UN, because I guess I'll have to back up. The Ascended Masters were put in detainment a couple weeks ago because they weren't doing anything. And so they've been allowed to access their commanders on the earth, whatever, to get their whole GCR RV thing going. And they wanted out again, supposed to take action within the next 5 days. Announced to the RV, the GCR, whatever they want to call it. Come out for dress rehearsal, get ready to arrive to Earth. There's some kind of gods or gurus or whatever it is they want to arrive as. And so they've been let out of detainment to try to get something rolling. And when they access Earth, they typically hang out at Shima, the star in the east, on that border between Ohio and PA. They're kind of stuck there since 2008 because they can't move it. But that's their temple and their city above the earth. It's in that Shima star. That's now a yellow ball every night in the sky. But when they come to Earth, they typically like to access things via the water. They have these submarine-type vehicles, and they typically would go through the Great Lakes and then over through New York down the Hudson River. And they have a tunnel cut underneath Manhattan, and they would just go over to the UN down from the water access. And so that's what I'm thinking, the whole reasoning behind the G7 being on the east coast of Sicily, because they're going to use one of their water vehicles to go over there and meet with them, or have all those leaders be brought to an underground base that they have there, underground city, underwater city, whatever you want to call it, and meet with them there. And so, probably more like it. Probably meeting in some kind of underwater facility there. Because I'm sure under the water, Italy and Sicily are all connected through some kind of underwater city and tunnel access or whatever. But yeah, I know that they're meeting with them on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So that's why Trump they've been pushing his clone all over the place, all over the Middle East. Not really sure what that one's about, except he's supposed to make sure that Netanyahu doesn't give them trouble, goes ahead with the peace deal, whatever that is, and goes along with the RV. He's been the one holding it up, so they claim. They always have to have a bad guy to stand up and take the blame to be the one holding it up, because they can never get anything going. They wiffle waffle, which is why they get put in and out of detainment, to push them to get it going. This is the last regime on Earth. We don't like it, but that's the way it's going to be, folks. And so they have to get it going. Time's running out, time crunch. And so look for the RV. I really holding my breath for some time today. I know all the New Age boards are pounding for this weekend as well. Ramadan starts tonight, our time. They probably already start, I think, 11 o'clock their time in Iraq. But anyway, a lot of things commencing this weekend, and Friday in particular, ended up being a 3-day holiday. I can remember years ago they always said it would happen on a 3-day weekend when the banks are closed. And so, yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be dispensing people a lot of money or whatever with banks closed, but that's their plan. So what do I know? So looking for that today, if not Tuesday. Tuesday would probably be the back day. If it don't happen by Tuesday, they're going back in detainment. So was asking Dad about coming events, and of course this one is huge. This whole 8th regime getting started, kick-started on Earth, and they plan to kick-start their whole regime with their arrival, which they call the event. The RV is a sign of this whole, because it's the foundation of this whole regime, is the money. Imagine that. The foundation of Satan's regime is money. And that's why it kicks off with the GCR, or RV, Global Currency Reset, or the RV, which is called a reevaluation, where everyone's currencies are revalued. And so they come in with bribes. They come in we're going to make everybody on the same ballpark with the money, no more debt. We're going to forgive everybody's debts, and all these big plans and promises of Gesera and Nasera. That's always been the hallmark of the regime, folks. Money, 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 money. So that's why it's a huge sign that this regime is going. And that's what they'll use to get everybody to worship the beast. That's how they destroy people. Because in order to access all the money you just made or are going to get, they make everybody get a chip implant and join the kingdom of Lucifer on Earth. Luciferian initiation. Can't access your bank accounts without a chip implant. You can't access them now without a debit card that's chip implanted. Now they're going to put it in your skin or a tattoo on your forehead if you want to access your bank accounts. It's all about money, folks. So if anybody tells you it's not about technology, it's not about a chip implant, they're wrong. Don't even listen to them. Just run. Because they're going to end up tricking you and you're going to damn your soul to hell. If you're listening to the wrong people, all you have to do is open up your Bible and read Revelation chapter 13. You can't buy or sell anything without the mark of the beast. What does that tell you? It's technology related. It's money related. So I know the event I'm waiting for is for the warriors to leave Earth. They have their event, we have ours. I've always felt that before anything started, because Father told me, that he would remove the orgone warriors off of the Earth. He would reward us for our service on Earth, and he would take us off. We would be the first ones gone. He would take us off. But I always felt at the same time that they would be a part of the bride that goes with us, but I couldn't explain it because I didn't know who they were. I just knew that there were three groups leaving on Earth. So I asked for clarification from the Father, and this is what he told me. He told me, let me see if I can. Okay. The ones going with us, with the orgone warriors, are the ones, the few, and he said few, that he finds on earth whose faith is perfect. And he said few. A small part of the bride, because the majority of them need refined. And he said, because they won't make a mockery of my daughter. Because they all hate me, they all mock me, and he's going to leave them to be refined. But their faiths are not perfect in him. They don't hear from him. They don't seek him. They're more interested in making videos and building followers and putting actual sheep in his kingdom. Their faiths are not found perfect. And he said the ones who need refined will go through the time of the giants. The ones whose areas are orgoned will be protected during the time of the giants. So I always knew the bride was going to be here during the time of the giants. I just didn't know how many and where exactly in all the timeline the invasion of the giants fits in. He told me that the giants will arrive after Revelation chapter 8, which I've always felt anyway, after the comet hits the earth and the asteroid hit the earth, then the giants will come. And we know they're called locusts in Revelation chapter 9, that they're here for 5 months. And so the church is going to be here to be refined during that 5 months. And then after that 5 months, a second group will leave. I don't have a particular name for them, so I just call them the second group. And then after a while, other events will commence. Lucifer's going to be setting up his kingdom on earth and stuff. Other things will happen. And then shortly before the time of temptation, the hour of testing that comes upon the world begins, he will take the last group off the earth, and that is considered the Church of Philadelphia. They will stay up until that point, and then that group will be taken. So that's the timeline of the 3 groups that are leaving. Those who faith I find perfect won't have to go through the time of the giants. The words from Father himself. They will go with the first group warriors. And that is the event we are waiting on. That is the event the world is waiting on, because they want this event done and happened and gone before they arrive. And I have told them that this event's not going to happen until they announce the RV. So we've been in a stall in a fighting game for years over this. I don't know why. But that's exactly what's been going on behind the scenes. They want us to leave, but then they fight us at the same time. And nothing they ever do makes sense. Nothing. And so this G7 meeting, United States, Canada, Germany, France, Japan, Italy, Great Britain. I'm not sure what all that is about except for the RV itself for whatever reason. Japan being involved, kind of weird. Japan is probably running it because Japan has a lot of weird beliefs. They're very New Age. They talk to the angel Gabriel, you know. They think they are. And they believe the Ark of the Covenant is in northern Japan, which it's not. And they believe they're talking to real angels, which they're not. And, they're Asians, they're Lilith's kids, and so they've been deceived by the whole New Age Lilith thing. And they're the ones who have been pushing for this RV as well. They have a base in Reno, Nevada. The Japanese do. Underground, some kind of deep underground base there, and they work out of that. People think they're over in Japan, but they're not. They're over in Reno. They probably spend more time in Reno than they do Japan. I wouldn't want to be on Japan either, because with the stuff that's coming, it's going to go underwater. I mean, he spared it in 2011, 10, when Fukushima blew, but the whole island was supposed to go under at that point. But eventually it is. I mean, when this asteroid hits over by the South Pacific, not a whole lot of islands are going to escape that. So that you don't want to be on an island, folks. They're kind of dangerous with the times we're coming in. You don't want to be 100 miles near a coastline, because the asteroid take out huge chunks of California and our coastline, and then when the comet hits the Atlantic, it's going to take out Florida and Cuba and huge chunks of South America and Brazil. It's going to be heading down that way from Florida down. I guess your sign would be a huge global earthquake, the sixth seal earthquake. The Bible talks about a huge earthquake when he opens the sixth seal. That would be your sign, folks, to get away from the coastlines. I know a lot of people just love being near the water. You're really not going to want to be if you're still stuck on earth waiting for the times to come. Christians who are on earth during the time of the giants, like the Father said, he will protect areas that are orgoned. And even if an area is orgoned, like a lot of times we just orgone areas to piss off the lizards that live there, he'll crank it down so the giants will go in and get them. I mean, it's his. He can do with what he wants. He can crank it up. He can turn it down. So it's no guarantee from the wicked that even if they surrounded themselves with our orgone, that they're going to be protected from the giants, because he'll just turn it down so that it doesn't work. The giants will go get them. I mean, the tribulation period is a time when the Father's judgment's after the wicked. It's a time of refinement for the bride, but a time of complete destruction for the wicked. So then the next group to leave after the time of the giants would be another bulk of the bride, what most people consider the rapture of the church. When you think of a rapture of the church, and then the Church of Philadelphia sometime later after that. So that's the events we're watching for. The events the world is waiting for is the arrival of the ascended masters, the gurus, the world teachers, this Ashtar command I've been telling you about, Maitreya and Sananda and Eve playing the fake Mary, and Lilith playing the fake Mary Magdalene because she wants a role so she can come down to earth and play with the others. Yeah, Eve is involved. You haven't been paying my attention. You're new to the show. Eve left Adam and returned to Lucifer, and so she's always been a part with Lucifer, because when she died and went down into lower Sheol, he just went down and got her, because, hell didn't really exist back then. And she's been with him since, and since then, the place of the dead, Sheol, was capped off, so nobody could go down there. Lucifer in particular. Nobody can get down there. And so, anyway, since then, Eve has been with him and Lilith and the Ashtar command, and she is going to come to earth and play Mary, the mother of Jesus, and the Mary you all worship and pray to, and your little rosaries and your crosses and your idols, and all your little pictures of Mary and baby Jesus. That's Mary. That's Eve. That's not Mary. It's Eve. So yeah, and she does have red hair, and that's her, that's Eve. So, and that's her depiction. That's what she looks like, because she's going to come playing that too. The Jesus the churches see, and all the little church bulletins, they always put Jesus holding the little sheep, and Jesus, that's Sananda. That is not Jesus, the real one. That's not Yeshua, the Son of God. That's Sananda. That's the one coming to play the fake Jesus. He's part of the Ashtar command. Maitreya is coming. He's the 12th Imam the Muslims are waiting for. Saint Germain, he's the grand architect of this whole New World Order and last regime on Earth with the Ascended Masters. And, you know, I've been talking about this stuff for so long. You can go to my website, sherryschreider.com, and click on the page with the New Age info, because it's all on there. And I've got videos on my YouTube channel. And, anyway, just wanted to get out there because this weekend could be interesting. Watch for the RV. If they sound off the RV, then we're actually heading somewhere. We're actually getting somewhere. If they don't, then they may just be thrown in detainment until September. They may just be thrown in permanently. And then Lucifer will be cast out of heaven, and we'll get the show on the road without the others. And so it's really their choice. Do or die. Do or bust. Because either way, Lucifer's getting cast out of heaven, and he can just use humans to fulfill his will on earth as he always has. He doesn't necessarily need this whole Ashtar command garbage. Nobody does. It's just been a huge part of the script for so long. Lucifer's script. And so, but that's what we're waiting for, and they're being given time allotted to get their regime plans off the ground. I have so many people hoodwinked and waiting for it. Folks, it's nothing that's going to help mankind. I get shocked at the sheer number of people involved with the whole New Age regime that claim to be actual believers of the Lord's. You know, they post their scriptures, and they're good people. They're good people. But they're so hoodwinked. You know, you cannot turn a linear dimension into an eternal dimension. A fifth dimension is an eternal dimension, meaning it's not linear. It's an eternal spirit dimension. You cannot go from flesh to spirit unless you die. You do not just ascend into another form, or you do not leave your body and become a spirit unless you're dead. And so the whole deception of the New Age is they're trying to kill all these people and tell them they're going to ascend into a new dimension. That's what they call ascension. And what they really do is invite these people to be soul scalped, or run out and meet a UFO and get on UFOs, be taken off the earth to avoid the coming pole shift and comet and asteroid, what they call the earth destructions, and they're going to take them someplace and keep them safe. Yeah, they're going to put them in their freezers. That's the safe place they have in mind. So many people deceived by this. If you would read your Bibles instead of quoting little passages you think are appropriate and that you like the best, read the whole Bible. Don't just pick and choose little parts you like. The Father's judgment's coming on this world. You don't just jump into a different dimension. You're a fleshly human being with a soul. You can't change that unless you're dead. And then you're either in heaven or hell, or stuck in the fifth somewhere. And most people who get stuck end up just getting sucked back into hell. Anyway, folks, hopefully I won't be back Monday night. Either way, if I am, I'll be back with my show at 9 o'clock. Until then, everybody, God bless.